Relieved to see her husband and daughter safe, the wife let out a huge breath she didn't know she was holding. But as she turned to grab the car keys, who could have guessed? And just 2 weeks later, the whole planet was a dead, silent wasteland. People were ending their lives in the most brutal ways imaginable. Bodies piled up on the beaches thicker than the fish in the ocean. Turns out, some unknown creature had invaded Earth. They could hijack people's minds. One look and your sanity snaps. You go numb, then self-destruct. Only a handful survived, holing up underground, scurrying like rats in the dark. But supplies ran thin fast, turning survivors feral. They'd fight tooth and nail over a scrap of bread. Even so, some risked going outside for food, blindfolded, fumbling through the dark. Xianga and his daughter were among the few left. They stood there, sunglasses smudged with black ink, lost and confused. Then a sound in the distance. Another group of survivors, toting a shopping cart, unspooling a long rope behind them to mark their path. Xianga whispered a plea, said he hadn't eaten in days, begged for a crumb. But the burly leader shut him down cold. His crew urged him to move on. Xianga knew how cruel survival was, but for his daughter, he swallowed his pride, offered a generator in exchange for food. At generator, they stopped. Just as they hesitated, a cold wind cut through. No time to waste, they decided to take Xianga to their hideout. Following the rope, they reached an abandoned bus station, where a dozen survivors huddled. They shared their meager rations. Thinking of his wife, gone forever, Xianga's chest ached. No one to talk to, so he bottled it up. Funny thing though, there are ways to ease that weight. Like some of those therapy apps, people actually listen there. You can let it all out, no judgment. Tons of folks on there get what you're feeling. Having that, it helps. Trust me, for working through that heavy stuff, those apps are worth it. A blind man among them warned. In the end times, the scariest thing ain't the shortages, it's how twisted people get. On the surface, the open-eyed roamed, hunters who'd lost their minds, preying on survivors. So they never let strangers in. Xianga was lucky. But that night, as everyone squeezed into a bus to sleep, Xianga snuck into the office, swiped all the car keys. Ignoring a woman's screams, he cranked the bus to life. Another survivor lunged for the wheel, trying to stop him. The bus careened, tumbled end over end, and landed on its side. Dozens died instantly. Only a few crawled out bloodied. A man roared, demanding to know why. Xianga said nothing, just stared, satisfied, into the distance. The man followed his gaze. Leaves and pebbles floating in midair. His pupils shrank. Next thing, he grabbed a shard of glass and slit his own throat. But to Xianga, it looked like the man's soul lifted like a streak of gold, shooting skyward. A woman crawled out, too scared to open her eyes. Xianga cooed, "Come on, look at the world." When she refused, he pried her eyelids open. Her eyes glazed over. She wandered toward the wrecked bus. Last to survive, a kid. He staggered to the gas tank, lit a lighter. Flames swallowed him whole. Only Xianga remained. Strange thing? He was wide awake, eyes open, and untouched by the madness. Then a tiny hand slipped into his. His daughter, missing all day, was there. And that's where the movie cuts to black. If you're curious, track down the full film.